You're probably addicted to comfort, and most of you don't even realize how badly it's ruining you. Most people don't ruin their lives because of one big mistake. They ruin it because they get too comfortable, and that's what makes comfort dangerous. But it doesn't feel dangerous. It feels nice. It feels safe. It feels normal. Sleeping in feels harmless. Scrolling for hours feels harmless. Putting things off until tomorrow feels harmless. But when you do that every single day, comfort stops being rest. It becomes your whole life, and I think that's where a lot of people get trapped. Because when people hear the word comfort, they imagine something small. They imagine relaxing, taking a break, having an easy day. But that's not the real problem. The problem is when your whole life starts to build around avoiding anything hard, anything uncomfortable, anything boring, anything that takes effort, anything that doesn't give you instant pleasure. That's when comfort starts to destroy you. Because the truth is, almost everything good for you feels uncomfortable at first. Learning a new skill is uncomfortable. Working out is uncomfortable. Studying is uncomfortable. Starting something new is really uncomfortable. Even focusing for more than 10 minutes is uncomfortable now for a lot of people. And instead of pushing through that feeling, most people instantly run back to what feels easy. They grab their phone. They distract themselves. They tell themselves they'll do it later, and that later never comes. That's the scary part. Comfort makes you feel like you're okay when you're actually wasting your life. You feel busy, but you're not doing anything. You feel tired, but you haven't done anything hard. You feel like you need a rest, but what you actually need is discipline. And I know that sounds harsh, but don't you notice how a lot of people live? The second life feels even a little bit difficult. They escape into their phones, into their games, into their food, into their videos, into their excuses, into anything that lets them avoid sitting in discomfort. And then they wonder why they feel stuck. It's because growth and comfort do not live in the same place. You can have one or you can chase the other all day. And obviously, I'm not saying you should never relax. That's not the point. This isn't about becoming some perfect robot that works 18 hours a day and never enjoys life. It's about what controls you. Because if you can only do things that feel easy, then comfort owns you. And that's a terrible way to live. Because life is never going to always feel easy. There will be boring days, hard days, stress, failure, pressure, moments where you don't feel motivated at all. And if your whole life has trained you to run from discomfort, you will fold the second real life hits you. That's why this matters so much, especially when you're young. Because the habits you build right now are teaching your brain how to live. If you keep choosing easy, easy becomes your identity. You become the kind of person who avoids, the kind of person who delays, the kind of person that quits the second things stop feeling good. And that happens slowly. That's why a lot of people don't even notice it. They don't wake up one day and decide to become weak. They just spend years choosing comfort over effort, comfort over discipline, comfort over growth. And after a while, they can't even handle basic difficulty anymore. Their attention span is gone, their patience is gone, their work ethic is gone. Not because they were born that way, but because they trained themselves to live that way. That's what comfort does to you if you let it take over. It makes you feel softer every day. And the worst part is the world will not care. The world is not going to lower the price of success because you got too used to living easy. It's still going to reward people who can focus, who can stay consistent, who can do hard things even when they don't feel like it. That's reality, and most people watching this probably already know if this video is about them. Because deep down, you can feel it. You know when you've been hiding in comfort. You know when you've been avoiding what needs to be done. You know when your whole routine is built around cheap dopamine and easy distractions. The problem is, most people won't change. They'll hear this, they'll agree with it, and then 5 minutes later, they'll go right back into the same old habits because comfort is addictive. That's the whole point. It pulls you in slowly. It makes excuses and sounds reasonable. It makes weakness feel normal, and if you're not careful, you'll waste years of your life without even realizing it. So no, Comfort is not always harmless. Sometimes comfort is the exact thing holding your life back. Sometimes the reason you feel stuck is not because life is unfair. It's because you got used to easy mode. And if that's true, then the fix is also simple. Not easy, but simple. Start doing things that make you uncomfortable. Wake up when you said you would. Do the work even when you don't feel like it. Stay focused a little longer. Stop escaping every time life feels hard. Because the longer you stay addicted to comfort, the weaker you become. And one day you're going to look at your life and realize you didn't lose to some big enemy. You lost to a life that felt too easy.